back. Shit, my house. Welcome back to another. Why is this here? Was this here before? Hey, I'm confused. Oh, shit. I don't know. Ooh, I like the Batman. You got the there's nothing in the item shop. There's nothing in the bloody item. I don't really know what to do. What the fuck is this? I'll get for watching this. Maybe we can get some free items. I don't know. If you're watching this, subscribe, because at 200 subs, I am doing a $50 giveaway. Yes. Subscribe now, or you will have shit. Subscribe now, so have 60 years. Good luck. Trust me, it works. Tried it once, I broke my arm twice because I didn't subscribe. Yeah. Carmen's a bitch. Yeah, but subscribe. If you made it this far, I'm not sure. Let's go get a quad crasher. I don't like this. I'm gonna turn power music. I don't like this. Oh my god. Alright, boys, let's do this. See, we got jetpacks. There's nothing. There's literally nothing. Oh, I'll take these. I gotta change it back. There's literally nothing. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, do anything a spider can. Spider-Man, Speeder-Man, do anything a speeder can. Scared of. This is supposed to, like, welcome to the stream with you. Let's do this. Speeder-Man, Speeder-Man, do anything a speeder can. Subscribe. Speeder-Man, Speeder-Man, do anything a speeder can. Speeder-Man, Speeder-Man. It says hold over here. We'll go over here. Speeder-Man, Speeder-Man. Go in the party chat, so I know what your name is, brother. Let's go. What's happening?
Keep an eye on, potentially take advantage of the fact that 3 of the players in the top 7 have already fallen. Tayson, another player you want to keep keep an eye on. He was top 10 before coming right into this. He's able to pick up Steelix with just 1 HP to spare before that Siphon ends up coming through, and that's a 2-point swing as we hit top 50.
And he finds the extra minis as well. This is so good. He gets the flopper off. He's going to have minis to refill the ones that he's trying to take, and he finds a good path to zone as well. This was very, very clutch in getting into this end game, because had he not found that, he would have been very, very, very much in shambles. As Rezon nearby, Mawaka there as well, as we get Nebby, Arion Carton there on your screen, Mr. X as well, advises there. A Savage now in
Spider-Man.
well, 17 points, so he needs 2 back-to-back perfect games to get to that top.
Yeah, and it's something he's very good at executing in the mid and the late game. We've seen time and time again Savage. And we also haven't seen as much as we did before. The peppers in play. When you eat those peppers, you get a huge move speed boost, and it lasts for a minute. So when you get in these late game circles, it gives you a lot more options and a little bit more versatility when you're in these fights. And right now, Savage doesn't have one activated, but using the crash test dummy, hoping to avoid an explosion right here and potentially be the one to cause a little bit of demolition derby. Gonna drop in the box, finds the first shot, finds the second, can't quite convert. Right now, 5 HP, and he gets taken down. Mr. Savage, 17 points, going to be on the outside looking in when it comes to contesting for the top spot. Both him and Benji, 2 of the eliminated from that
subscribe
competition, but
for more shit content.
E11 Tayson up on the high ground right now, just raining shots down in that full built metal base, and then using the ramp
brother what
off any angles on players who might punish him, and a great hip fire shot onto Smudge, then converting afterwards, then right away popping the
I only have one more.
to head over towards that player to potentially scoop up whatever he can get as we close in on top 40. That's placement points going over in the next rotation, moving out.
I want to start contrast where we saw him on the low ground, had high ground all of a sudden, and now fragging out is getting elimination after elimination on 3 now, looking to pick up number for that player. No shields remaining, no builds remaining as well. That's going to be Young Bob going down. Tayson now looking for elimination number 5, not going to be able to get it. He's got a good amount of mats as well. 2 crash pads remaining in the inventory. He can make it into zone number 7 and 8. It is a pulls away from him. He's going to look for any eliminations that he can, but he decides, you know what, I'm going to get ahead of zone, then look back, because that is the best way to find these eliminations, as players are not paying attention to the head of zone.
You can see top 25 ticking over. Hen does go down there as well. There's a player who's contending towards the top. The case on the winner of Heat 2, trying to push forward and cement his spot. He has now tied Rifla, who is the leader coming into this. This is his opportunity to take over the front spot. And notice what he's doing so well is he's tarping out and he's using the full builds, and he's staying towards the front part of the zone, and then he doubles back right here looking for picks. This is something when you have execution, you have space, no one else is on your level, you turn eliminations in.
Move out of the way.
He knows he's safe, and he can continue moving on a horizontal level while also harassing his opponents. Top 20 ticks over now. Tayson going to continue contributing there. 43 points for the E11 player.
And he goes into zone to crash play because he wanted to be safe doing it, did not want to risk it. He's got the flopper. So that damage he took is effectively null. He's back up to 200 effective HP. But 18 players remaining. He's going to have to make a play, and he's already looking for high ground. He's second high right now, but the drop down going to ensue. Swee's going to fall there to Milan. The shot's going through. Tayson getting challenged, but he's going to get an elimination there. Again, now on 6th elimination. Bayon going to go down. Flopper Michael going to fall as well.
You can see Mongrel up on the high ground, Snazy on the low ground, everyone else in between. Scram still up in this lobby. Nate, Milan, Cartoon up as well. Frenzy Fishy dipping back into the storm. That's the flopper play. Going for a late high ground take right now, and he's trying to push forward. Frenzy Fishy up on the high ground, but now dropping back in. This is the box-to-box fight. He's able to pick it up. That is a huge elimination. Reason right over the side, but it's all Tayson all the time.
Will this get me like
pushing forward for top 5, and he's saying right now,
stuff?
I can cement this #1 spot. I can take away the game. I can make you chase me in game number 6 as he closes in for top 3, and he's still hunting. He has that mythic charge shotgun. He says, I'm not just a shockwave player. 11 eliminations, 2 of the players go down, and it's Reason, arguably the strongest solo player, wire to wire, against what is the strongest solo player on the day right now in E11's Tayson.
This kid will not screw off.
Reason on the low ground, and that little bit of Old Man Mountain, he doesn't have to be too large, but it's going to burn Reason's through the last of his resources. He's standing out there spraying, no build left, and Tayson converts, and he does so in a monstrous way. 12 eliminations, add the 14 points for the victory royale. That's 26 points in match number 5. What?
What an insane performance from Tayson. The lead has been blown out of the water, and now it's just going to be about who can play catch-up. Can Ryfla do it? Can Deceptos do it? Or will Tayson take game number 6 as well?
My goodness. Tayson, while we're all sitting here running this marathon, this short baby sprint, he's sitting there letting everyone just take off, get that lead. He's like, oh my gosh, no way, everyone's here. They're all running ahead of me. Saves enough in the tank to get the victory royale and the biggest comeback he needed. Ball, what is going on?
It was clinical, man. It was absolutely clinical. It felt like every shot was connecting and he was making all these quick decisions. There wasn't a time in there where he paused, where he took a second to breathe. He didn't stop at all. Foot on the gas, and he takes it all the way up to the top. What a performance from Tayson.
I feel like there was one person on his keyboard and a separate person on his mouse because he was playing movement and aim perfectly, Tayson. And that's why I'm going to say he's 100% first place right now, holding stuff off from everyone else. The question is completely right, though. Who can catch up to him? Because he's a pack leader by so many points. Oh, my goodness.
And there was definitely some instances where this opportunity arose. We always think of EU, the winners, ending up coming out in the last 2 games. But something else also interesting is that Tayson won Heat 2. And if you think back to FNCS duos and FNCS squads, both of the winners of Heat 2 in squads, it was Red Rush, Drobbin, Snappy, and Wakey. In duos, it was Andalex and Nate who ended up taking that X of Champions. Now, all of a sudden, it looks like it might happen again.
It's his destiny. It's Tayson's destiny to win this entire tournament, this entire region, and it's been decreed. The question is, can anyone flip the story, flip the switch? Ryfla, Deceptos, Hen, Reason. It's their last game to have a stand, have a say in it. X-Squeeze Thomas, I mean, if Tayson can do it, if he can be at this spot, 20th place, 30th place, and shoot all the way up, any of these guys could too.
And they all have the capability. Again, we talk about this quality factor. These guys have made it here. They have fought through the gauntlet. They have what it takes to cement that win. They just
it won't let me move.
Happen. 1 game left. We thought it's all, you know, Ryfla is at the top. There's no way. And suddenly Tayson said, no, everyone stand aside. My time is right here, right now. And that's what these guys need to do.
And don't forget, in the Invitational,
Spider-Man.
It was Janice, Tayson's duo partner, but all of a sudden it seems like the skills have transferred because Tayson has not stopped this weekend. He stands above and beyond the rest of 16 points, but if you looked at that top leaderboard, there was a big question, right? Because we were saying, oh, it's Deceptos, oh, it's Ryfla, oh, these guys, Latwick has an opportunity, but I talked about conversion last time you guys saw me, and all of a sudden, those guys fell. They dropped like flies. Absolutely every single one of them ended up dropping and gave Tayson and so many others the opportunity, but it feels like Tayson took and strangled all the opportunity from everybody else.
That is how it goes sometimes, man. We keep talking about it. Those guys at the top, they have to hold on. If they can't, this will happen.
Yeah, I'm going to give you my natural reactions to what I thought this game would look like. Wow, Anas, I'm so hyped and ready for you to be playing this out to get all the way back up to first. And here we go. He gets taken out. Past that, it's fine. We have more predictions in the top 5, right? Latwick, he's there to hang. He's at authority. He has the power and control. He's went for shots and making sure everything's looking good for himself, but he gets beamed out too.
It's Carrot, who lurks in the authority again since the Invitational, and he stops Latwick's reign up there, but Ryfla had nothing in the tank there against Scram. There was a big shift in player behavior in this game and how they were playing so aggressive. The only guy out of that top 5 who made it towards the end was Deceptos, but a huge shot from Waka out of a peak box to make it count.
And if these jumbo jets of players are not there to rule the skies towards this end game, it's Tayson that takes that flight plan, takes Sword, all the way and takes flight actually into this game and holds down things. Starting off a little bit slow, gets 1 or 2 elims from mid to end game, but then you saw what happened when the zone started to close down. You saw how proficient he was with every decision that he made.
And when you talk about proficiency, how he didn't stop at all in this game, it's because of this new season, because the crash pads actually activate people in mobility to get this far in the game and then do things like this. Tayson finding the moments where players are going to drop in to old bases for where he could find elims, and then again, decisive, dropping down, gets another one, and he does not stop.
Every shot he took was still from cover looking out towards the open, so it was literally perfect. There was nothing wrong with what he was doing at all.
Not at all, and even when players start to get aggressive on him, he will respond in kind. He only has a charged shotgun and a burst AR, but he makes it work even close range, and then it's just follow up. Down below, another peek box. He finds another. This is it. Look at this shot. The flick jump onto the player on height, the biggest threat, and Tayson takes him out so fast. Another quick build, and boom.
He actually lands the shot, lands the landing, and then gets height with another back-to-back past that. The left peak, followed by the right one as well. Reason had no idea what he was up against, and Tayson was on fire with so much hot momentum. What a performance.
If you blinked, you missed it, because I don't know where the shockwave launcher went, but he still had Kit's charge, and that's apparently all you need if you're Tayson. I'm getting scared for everybody. 16 points, but also if he does what we saw in Heat 2, which is back-to-back wins, all of a sudden this might be over and done with.
I'm reading my notes here. I think I'm seeing there's a new mythic player on the map, and if he's in the end game, if he's near height, this man is winning, so watch out for Tayson in Game 6.
The tone has shifted. Can Tayson hold down that #1 spot, or will someone step up and try to dethrone him? Let's get ready to get into the last game here in EU. Sundown, Clay, take it away, guys.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, and it all comes down to this. After 40 possible matches in each weekend, 80 possible during the course of the qualifiers, then the 6 in the heat, then 5 in the grand finals, we have 1 match remaining, and the tail of the tape is E11's Tayson taking out his former duo partner in Steamy Stacks for the first of 12 eliminations to secure the victory royale in a 16-point lead coming into the final match. Clay, can anybody catch him, or is it a wrap?
The only way somebody can catch him is if somebody here in Steamy decides that they want to push and get this elimination. There's somebody nearby as well. It's either Tinsel or Janice. We know they land here. They have an opportunity. It's going to be Tinsel there to shut him down if they want to and go on a run of themselves. But it would need to be quick and decisive, as we saw last game. Tayson put down Janice. He did not care if they were doing mates. He did not care if they were landing in the same place. He said, you know what? Nah, this game I'm going to go on my own little spree. I'm going to write my own destiny.
And that's what it's all about. We talked about it. There's no love lost. It's a solo competition. There is one active champion up for grabs, and everyone is currently chasing Tayson for it. You see Benji picking up Elim in the feed there. So who besides E11's Tayson is currently in the running? Rifla sitting in second place at 42 points, needs 16 to close it. He is the closest. And you have Deceptos at 41, Hen at 40, Reason at 40, Badil at 38, Snazy at 38, and then we'll keep Letwick in the conversation as well at 37. That's 21 points back. So that's 7 eliminations plus the victory royale.
And it sounds like a lot because it is, but these players can do it. These players can make the play. We just saw Tayson do just that. But of course, it's all contingent on if Tayson goes down. If he's able to make it into that top 25, into the top 15, top 10 placement points, then your chances are very, very, very slim of toppling him.
Yeah, the longer he stays in the game, the more that delta closes. And now we're going to swing back on board here. And Us potentially looking to set up a nice little door ambush. You've seen this a number of times before. The reason players will hang out by doors is because a lot of players will either interact with doors right away or have auto interact set. What that means is when they walk up and they open the door, they're unable to take any other action because you're locked out while you're performing that animation. If a player walks in right on the other side of the door, this is a NOS looking to manufacture an elimination, and Bitfox might be the one on the other side of it.
He is setting the trap, and the cheese, you gotta wonder how tasty it'll be here for Bitfox as he's falling for it. He's walking right into NOS, is gonna get the shot. The trap has been sprung. Bitfox down to 23 HP, and NOS really needs this elimination if he wants to contest it. Bitfox trying to stay out and run away, but NOS gonna pick that one up.
Look at this.
So good. We talked about it last game. We talked about doing everything possible in your power to set it up to be successful, to manufacture these points when you need to climb that grind and get up and catch somebody like Tayson, where every single point matters. We can see some early shots coming out here. Can he potentially find the tags, convert it into elimination? And looking on the bottom right-hand corner, nobody's really threatening even remotely close to him.
Hey!
Indeed, and this is what you want if you want to get that first place. Says he's just gonna get gifted an elimination on the handy.
And that's so huge. Every single point pushing him that much farther up. And it reminds me so much of Bugha during the Solo World Cup when he threw a couple of rifle shots there in the final game, was able to pick up an elim, and he just laughed to himself. Tayson gotta be laughing to himself right now. If you're in Party Royale, hit him with that hee-haw emote. Let him hear the donkey laugh, because that's what Tayson has to say after throwing one singular AR bullet. But you saw him looking at it, you knew there was a third-party opportunity, and that's what makes the best player in Europe just the best. You've got to throw those shots over.
And we also need to point out, yes, this is for first place as well. That is the goal everyone is playing. But everybody's going to get money for just coming here and making it here today. These are some of the best, if not the 100 best solo players in the European region. Sundown has said it. This is the most played in, most competitive region of the world. And it's not going to be easy to just even make it here. So Slender and Peasant, while they are fighting it out, and while one of them may fall here, they have done so much just to get here, to get their moment right here on the screen. As Peasant is starting to find his favor, the pistol being used, it's breaking through the build, and Slender unfortunately gonna fall there.
Slender being taken down, and that's just a reminder again, this is the top 0.001% of players. This is the best of the best of the absolute best, and they're competing against her after a grueling qualifying and heat process. Is now on board with Wolfie as the second place in the Duo World Cup, but having a tough run of it today on the opposite side of AR Bafo, who we've seen a number of times more than capable of taking these fights. So it should be a good little battle right here, but Wolfie's continuing trying to play the aggressive. We talk about his rough day, only 8 points after 5 games, and he doesn't want to be sent out here, wants to have at least some form of a stamp on this game, even if it is just as a spoiler. But with 5 HP, the young lord from the UK will bow out of the competition at just a measly 8 points coming over.
And AR Bafo is someone that has kind of come into that WT role and kind of taken it over for a lot of these players. And right there, someone who was really good at pushing that left stick forward back a couple of months ago. Right now, falling just a little short again. He was coming off an injury, so not in his full form there, but still, what a performance by Wolfies to just make it here today and put those 8 points up. Rezon, however, one of those players that could contend for the top. Again, you would need Tayson to go down before placements points started being divvied out. If he goes down in top 76, that is good for Rifle, good for Rezon, but the likelihood of that happening are very, very slim.
Especially because we saw Tayson early on grab whatever loot and mats he can and then just sprint towards the center zone. That first round of placements will be falling over in with just 4 more players going down, so a little bit quicker of a pace here. As you can tell, everyone trying to push a little bit, get a couple of eliminations, get a couple placement points, try and move your way past that next player, maybe get a pay upgrade. And if you're hanging out for the first time watching us in Party Royale, and you're not necessarily used to competitive Fortnite, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us. You might be wondering, hey, how do I get involved with this? How do I play in these matches? How do these players get here? Well, the first step is to go in and play in the arena. That is where you'll be able to earn hype, which is where you're gauged and then placed into different levels of play you can end up getting into contender, and then you're up into champion, which will allow you access to different tournaments depending on where you're ended up placing. All of these players have grinded to the highest level, which is that champion level, which then grants access to certain cash cups as well as the FNCS. Then you can compete in those open tournaments to try and make the final rounds, which guarantee qualifications into the heats. And then after these heats, which were played on Friday and Saturday, you get the grand final. So again, when we talk about that 0.001%, these players have done it all, and they are very much so at the top of the game. 74 left, so 1 point going down to everyone, and that includes Tayson.
It also includes Rifla as well, with Reese on there. Thomas AC picking it up. Janice nearby as well. Thomas has got to be very careful here. If he is being a little bit too greedy, farming up a little bit too much too soon, he could start to go down, as Janice is going to look to take him down. The builds are just not building there for him, as he does take a lot of damage. 62 HP. He does have the RPG in his inventory, so he could turn that around if he gets the opportunity to, but he's got to be careful. Janice being aggressive. RPG out. It's going to hit the tree, but it doesn't do any damage. 27 HP. He's trying to side jump, but the ramp going to cut him off there. As Janice continuing to pressure up, Thomas HD is getting WG'd, and Janice is going to be the one to take him out.
Thomas's attempt at a run will go down there. He was 12th trying to enter in here. We talked about it. We'd hyped him up. We'd shown just how good and accurate he could be, but ran into Janice there, the FNCS Invitational Champion, and a tough 1v1. Again, it would have been an outside chance looking in, but now there is no chance as his FNCS is over. He's just hoping he can hold on to whatever spot in the top 20 as he's going to drop down from where he is right now after only picking up a singular point there. But now, back on board with Floats, who has that hunting rifle out. He's looking to catch a cheeky headshot here right around the corner.
Oh, he's setting it up. He's getting so close. He's waiting for the opportunity to get it, taking his time, and he does hit it, but it's a body shot, not a headshot. Unfortunately, that will give him the pressure, though, that he needs to do. He's got the crash pad, set it up, into the box. He goes with that player new, and the diagonal box out going to come through, and Flois not able to capitalize on that elimination. He was so sneaky when it mattered the most, but unfortunately, only the body shot coming through from him, but he gets tagged up by a third party, and now the player he headshot, or the body shot rather, is going to push him. It's going to be Kylix going aggressive, and Kylix can use elimination as well, move into the upper echelon of prizing, and Flois is just looking to try to make a run here. Flois 23 HP, ticking down. Flashback comes through, and Kylix is going to come out on top.
Tries to enter the bounce house, but unfortunately a little too much for that one. Got a little rowdy. They're going to kick you out. And it was Kylix who was the bouncer, pulling him out, ending his FNCS run. No attempt for heroics here from Flois, but peeking back on over. Again, Tayson, match number 5 winner, 26 points in that game overall. Currently had a 16-point game there. You can see Tayson now holds the largest lead between first and second all weekend so far, so it's just an act of holding on. And even then, if he goes down here, it's going to take a heroic effort from somebody in the top 10 to not only convert on a victory royale, but pick up a number of eliminations to even come close to matching that 12 elim victory royale we just saw. And currently sitting on 60 points, it looks like this might be a victory lap for him.
It looks that way indeed, but he's set up in a very awkward spot. He's got a player held out of zone. He's also got 2 players on the mountain behind him. As Janice picking up another elimination there onto Sapphic. Tayson, though, is the story of the day. Can he hold the lead? The largest lead we've seen in between first and second. He's looking to make it even larger here with this elimination, but someone else being a nuisance and shooting some shots over towards Kylix. Tayson not peeking, is waiting for the right time to make his move and to make that striking distance and close it. Have to wait and see if he's going to be able to stay alive or get that elimination. There's Stacey now sitting in this box looking for the same amount of eliminations as he's going for shots all around players. He needs a miracle run. He needs, I believe, 21 total points, and so he could do it. We saw Tayson do it, but it would need to be an impressive game.
But again, don't forget, we've talked about it time and time again, it's not just the #1 spot. Yes, the AXA Champions and all that clout is great, but because Tayson is occupying so many of those points, everyone else who's in 2nd to 10th right now, each one of their interactions against each other is going to matter in terms of the placement, in terms of the money you end up walking away with. And also, man, second sounds so much better than 8th or 7th or 6th, right? Like that battle for second place and who can capitalize on this opportunity is still a huge moment. Going back and looking at the Solo World Cup, TSM's crew was able to go from 66 to 6 with a singular 7-game victory royale in the final moment. Will we see some similar heroics for somebody to charge up the leaderboard and push themselves in the top 5, while Tayson is just doing his best to avoid all conflict, because he knows the longer he holds on, the more likely he is to raise that axe at the end.
And just a reminder, every place past 6th place is an increase of $10,000. So if you are Rifla, if you are Deceptos, that's what you're looking for. Kylix is trying to get up in there as well, up until that gap in between first and second, where it's about a $25,000 increase. There's still a lot of money on the line looking for these players to grab, and I'm very concerned right now. Kylix with this hunting rifle is shooting shots over to Tayson. This is not looking good. If Tayson does not get out of the situation, Kylix can get the snipe onto him, and the pressure is coming through. Will Kylix hit it? Will he hit the shot that will end Tayson's run? His shots are coming through. 129 effective HP in a very bad spot. Everybody knows he just got tagged up as well. Will he be WG'd by Kylix here? The pressure come through, and Kylix is going in. The crash pad going to be used, but Kylix is very low HP, 66 HP there. Tayson may be too aggressive here. He's got the hunting rifle. He could go for a little snipe there. If he does, it would need to be perfect. He's going to look for it. He's going to look for it. He takes him down. Tayson is down at 60 points.
Tayson smelt blood in the water with Kylix pinned against the outside of the zone, but Kylix says, let's open up the floodgates. Let's give the opportunity for somebody to have that heroic moment. Number 1 is down. I repeat, number 1 is down. E11's Tayson has been taken out at 60 points. That's the line we're looking at. Can anybody possibly catch him? Who's in the conversation? It's going to take the victory royale and much, much more, but all of a sudden, this game has so much more tension on it as the victory lap has been canceled early. He pulled up, and now can anybody else close that gap? Enos doing his best right there, picking up an elimination, but he has a long rotation to go before he gets into the zone.
And Cardin and Kha'Zix are not going to let him get there easy. They're not going to let an easy rotate come out. So he does have crash pads and
I'm gonna give you a high five, not from your bitch.
Is the amount of AR in his inventory. Now, if he knows that Tayson just
come here, bitch. I'm gonna give you a 5.
Have that anonymous mode on, Enos is going to be very, very, very hungry for placement. He's just going to look to try to set up in a good spot, but right on the edge of zone, there's 3 players looking.
Oh.
Tayson had a monumental performance in last game, and Enos is trying to double it up right now. We talk about it. It's going to take all the skill, a little bit of luck, and a bunch of execution. And right there, some good shots coming through, but not going to be able to find the loot afterwards. So who are we looking at who can potentially close it if they win the game? Rifle is in the conversation. Deceptos, Pen, Reason, Vadil, Snazy, Letwick, Frenzy Fishy, and Enos. Any of those players, if they're still up, gaining eliminations and gaining points, are slowly going to be shrinking that gap. So keep an eye on the yellow numbers to the left of their name in their HP pool, as well as the top left for any of those guys going down or picking up points. Circle 4 is revealed, and pretty much everyone has already established themselves. So we're going to wait, and we're going to roll the dice and see where circle number 5, that half in, half out zone that triggers the initial use of utility, where does it pull, and which one of these key players can capitalize on the position and the opportunity they're given. This is the final game. There is 4 storm zones left after this. 52 players up. Number 1 is down. Can anybody catch him, or will Tayson's lead be enough to just barely edge him over the top? There's the zone on the far west side, Clyde.
And Rifle has no mobility. He's got to make a play. Reminder, AR Bafo is right nearby Rifle. If he gets too aggressive and shoots a little bit too early, Bafo will strike. We've seen him pop out of cones into players' boxes to look for it. That is not good for Rifle. He needs to rotate soon. He's got to go up. Exactly. He's got to follow that path that was just built for him. Because if he doesn't, he's going to get capitalized. But this Bafo's moving. Bafo's moving behind. Shots come through. Down 131 HP. Rifle needs to get out of this one. Sniper is out. Bafo is rotating there as well. He realizes that Crash Pad going to be used. Chug Splash rather. He doesn't have any Crash Pads in his inventory. He's got to be careful he doesn't overpeak this. If a shot comes through that tags the shield, he's got nothing left there. 170 is going to find a launch pad. Is it enough? Is he getting a shot in the air? 114 shields are broken. Everybody knows. Tags go through and Rifle's down. Number 2 is out of the game.
Twain's picking that one up, saying, no run for you, sir. You must be this tall to ride the ride, and you will go down. Frenzy Fishy picking up one, so he's going to start moving his way up the leaderboard. We're inside the top 50, so that's another placement point down. Everyone who's contending for Tayson getting those points, he did not. He went down outside of that threshold. Again, the line is 60. Closing, which means we have the late game, the full moving coming right after that, and we're over Sweaty Sand, so tons of natural building in play, excess materials that can come out, but also weird rotational paths as Bafo pushes in, continuing with the aggressive playstyle and takes out Floppa Michael.
60 points is what everybody needs to be thinking about right now. That is the number that you need to break. You also need to pick up a victory royale. If you're just going for 60, the 61 points is where you really need to be shooting. That is a very tall order to ask.
I mean, 61 realistically too, because even with the victory royale, Tayson has the highest eliminations out of anybody in this tournament right now, so he owns that tiebreaker solidly. Now we're gonna hop on board here with Deceptos, who's currently below Storm Surge, and we're actually going to need 14 players to drop, so that could end up coming into play with how fast this zone closes. If everybody prioritizes rotation and with nobody wanting to drop, you could see that happen. But right now, Deceptos trying to find a pick. This is the final game of the EU FNCS, the final circles. 3 left. Number 1 player is down, and who?
Oh my god, subscribe, boys. Oh my god, subscribe. Leave a like for my dead person. So, it will only come out. Why can't it come out?
Not gonna be able to do it. Benji making a run, just trying to separate his game and try to get as many placement points and move himself up the leaderboard as he can, because he's out of contention for the Active Champions. AR Bafo there as well. Mongrel in this game. Scram going down. Hen trying to make something happen. Janus gonna go down. Mongrel gonna fall, as well as Orange. Hen picks up another elimination. This could be his run as well, but it's gonna be very, very close.
Storm Surge will turn off there as we have the top 30. Janus picking up an elim there. But Hen, if he wants to win, he needs to put his foot on the gas, right? The placement points aren't just enough. The victory royale isn't enough. We saw Tayson, he had 12 elims. Every one of those elims was a point that pushed him farther up. And while being still in the game gives you opportunities, if you want to seize the moment and you want to say your best of the best, you have to go now. You have to be pushing people. You have to be converting on the points, because there's only 19 elimination points available right now. You have to start finding them. Top 20, so the placement points are ticking down right now. And Hen, completely out of builds, needs the elimination just for... Top 15 taking over and looking at the names of the lobby. I think only Frenzy Fishy has a chance, and I don't think he has enough elims this game going through. Tayson is going to be your FNCS solo champion, but it's about who can get that second place right now. If they're able to push forwards here, Deceptos theoretically could eliminate every single player in the lobby and go for it, but we talked about it. You have to be pushing the pace. Instead, he's saying, okay, I understand Tayson has that W. I know he's probably going to take the first spot, but if I can stay in this lobby, I'm going to pass other players. Everyone else has gone down, and now he's dropping in. 112 on the first one, but he gets walled off. 35 HP, uses the crash pad, but he goes up vertically and not into the box. Top 10 and another point ticks over. Deceptos goes down with 49. Now it's all about pride. The final victory royale in beating the person next to you, getting a little bit more of a payday in the final game here.
And Bafo could get that. He's at 40 points. We saw Deceptos go down with 49. This could be a second place run for Bafo. Stroke trying to make something happen there as well. 4 eliminations here for AR Bafo. Eliminations coming through all around for Stroke on that high ground. Looking to break his way on down. Shots coming through for Stroke down very, very low. Has to box on up. Twain's doing that. Nade dropping down. Bafo trying to just make something happen. 100 effective HP. 5 builds there for them. Stroke getting tagged up there by Twain. Shots coming through. He's trying to hit him, but he's not going to make it. No, he does. Elimination comes through. Bafo trying to make something happen as well. Dropping down to the outside. Going around the boxes. Is going to find some loot. BZ going to fall there to zone. Bafo with 4 eliminations. Looking again to get number 5, number 6, and number 7 as more people are falling. And Bafo clutches up the last elimination for the victory royale. But I don't think he's going to get second. I think he's going to take third.
What a huge push from Bafo at the end. We talked about it, how every interaction will matter. And while E11's Tayson is the best player in Europe for this season, walking away with the AXA champions, the 80 grand and all of the clout, Bafo takes game number 6. He'll rocket himself up the leaderboard. He'll earn a nice little payday in the clutch moments. And you can see there just how good Tayson was today. 22 eliminations, averaging a placement of 27th, but the big one is quick.
Walks away as a victory.
We talked about it specifically. It would need a heroic effort from somebody in the top 10, but instead a heroic effort from Bafo, who was 26 before that. But where will he end up on the final leaderboards? We're going to throw it back on over to Zeke, Bala, and Shayo to close this one up. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Sundown Clay, absolutely incredible casting of the day. You guys were so on point with these calls. I mean, it did come down to the wire, and for sure, Tayson is the FNCS champion, and now will walk away with the axe of Now, of course, big props, but now we take a little bit of a turn here and look at everyone else. Second between fifth, because placing up there is a pretty considerable amount of money.
Yeah, and to get there, how things were, all the way till the final second, the final shot, the top 10 switched up. So, looking at what it is now, after Game 6, after this grueling process in Europe is over, it's Tayson at the top spot, 60 points, $80,000. At 10th is Anas still holding on, 7,000 for him, 41 points. But look at the names in between.
There's so much to break down on this page. First off, of course, Tayson winning, and Janice had won the last invitation. That is his former duo partner, so they've got to be feeling good after back-to-back Baseline championships from them. Tayson at 60 points, but Deceptos held on. That final moment, it looked like he was going to go for it, but unfortunately, he fell just a little short, but enough to propel himself and hold on to that second place. And then in third, this was the man who rose up in the final game, 19 points. He was way below, said 26 plates. He went from $2,000 earned, that you can see basically on this page, all the way up to 45,000.
That is such a huge boost. And also, to boot, AR Bafo, Deceptos, Twain's, people in the top 10, 2 of them, second and third place. This is their first Grand Finals appearance, and what a big appearance and a performance it was. Like, man, no practice in these types of lobbies, no real experience on the big stage, and they pulled that out? Unprecedented.
Yeah, absolutely, but it was a battle all the way through. Vadil, Nate, Letwick did so well in those early moments, but unfortunately...
Get him out.
Champions for now, but for everyone else here, they can truly say they are the cream of the crop.
And I think one thing that these guys are going to look forward to now is the solo season wraps for EU. Obviously, they're going to, watch the rest of this too, because we got NA East coming up next with some very interesting storylines too. But for now, they get to take a breather, relax a little bit as we head up into the next FNCS season or whatever comes after that, because I know people are excited.
Yep, and now we're looking at how things look after the heats in a top 100 stack lobby in a region that's what people say is the best to watch, the best to see. So